I briefly glanced at the newspapers this morning when I was showing you what IEBC has to contend with as they ready for their press conference. So let's take a deeper dive into the pages of the Daily Nation to begin with. And high gas prices despite tax cuts. That is on the very top of the Daily Nation this morning. New Finance Act 2022 regulations cut VAT by half from 16% to 8%, but retailers are yet to revise their prices downwards. A Nation survey shows court freezes billions in money laundering probe. 8 billion shillings is being held in 62 bank accounts owned by Nigerian and Kenyan men suspected of crime and online fraud. That, they tell us, can be found on page 10. There is the man, Chebukati, the man under siege. Come clean, IEBC told on poll claims. Pressure was mounting last evening on the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission chairman, Wafula Chebukati, to come clean on several accusations about secret affairs at the poll agency. One of them being the claims that Moses Wetangula is involved with the company printing ballot papers. So that is what is on the front page of the Daily Nation this morning. Let's quickly take a look at what is on the front page of the Standard. And Raila's threat to boycott polls on rigging claims. And Azimio leader alleges plot to use electronic voting system to sneak in 200 ballot papers in each of the 10,000 polling stations as he demands a manual register. And that is that report that was filed for us. And why IEBC chiefs are under siege, that is also on the front page of the Star. As I indicated, the headline on Taifa Leo is different. So let me first get some comments from my panelists who are already seated. Others are getting ready to start the conversation. Thank you for joining us, Lynette. Pauline, here she is, Mama Mboga, Ruth, and Mudeo. Good to see you this morning. Just briefly, perhaps, Lynette, do you get worried when you hear these allegations of there's a politician who's been linked to the firm printing ballot papers, when Raila Odinga says if there is no manual register, there will be no elections? Does it give you jitters, or are you confident all these issues will be resolved in good time?
First, thank you for having me. It gives me jitters. I'm worried. I don't know where Kenya is going. So it has to worry me a bit because we are here to elect our leaders. And when we hear that there is issues with electoral and everything, we are worried, what are we looking up to? What are we going to have the elections? Are we not going to have the elections? And is it going to be free and fair? And what are we expecting? Okay. Is everything going to be okay?
Okay. So
we have to be worried on behalf of all the Mama Mbogas and all the SMEs because we carry the most votes, I believe.
Okay. So Lynette Acheng Kaura there, you supply fish in Embakasi, if I'm not mistaken?
Yes, yes.
You had a salon business at one point?
I had a salon business. I had a hotel. At the moment, I'm supplying fish and omena, so as so many people refer to it, and other things like I have a salon as well, a small one, a salon, a barber shop, and also a retail shop.
Okay.
So I'm trying my hands in everything because if this doesn't work, the other has to work, the family has to be kept going.
Okay.
Yes.
So these businesses are all in Embakasi?
Apparently, I had to move. When the COVID came, I had to move. Most of them were in Embakasi, but I had to move along Kagundo Road. At the far end.
Kangundo Road?
Yes, Mala, to be precise.
Where?
Mala.
Mala?
Yes.
All right. Okay, so we're also joined by Pauline Kinyanjui, Mama Mboga. She told me she sells avocado and bananas in Kiambu. Pauline, unauza avocado na banana? Yes. Okay. Ukisikia ripoti kama haya, kwamba Raila anasema lazima kuwe na manual register, tena unasikia Wetangula inasemekana anajuana na wale wana print makaratasi ya kura. Wewe unakupatia shuku kwamba hii election itakuwa sawa?
Well, Kulingana na maoni yangu, sioni kama Raila hayo yote ataweza. Kwa nini? Hajakuja kuongea na wa Mama Mboga, Mama Hustlers. Tunamuonea tu kwa rununga.
Lakini kwa haya mambo ya, ukisikia mambo ya, tena lazima kuwe na manual register, lazima, alafu tena unasikia Wetangula ni kama anajuana na wale wana print makaratasi ya kura. Inakupatia, what's the word? Jitters in Kiswahili.
Are you worried?
Are you worried?
Yes, I'm worried.
Wasiwasi.
Inakupatia wasiwasi.
Yes, I'm worried. Na kile kinafanya tuwe na wasiwasi na hawa, saa yote hawana heshima na sisi watu wa UDA. Hata ukienda kuongea na hawa, for example, kama jana nilikuwa kwa Masisi, unaona wanakuja matusi tu, badala ya kusikiliza, mpaka tunaona hata wakati huo tutakuwa hatuna uhakika na hawa.
Okay. So, kwa hivyo uko kiasi uko na wasiwasi kidogo?
Yes, tuko na wasiwasi na hawa.
So we also joined, let me come to you first, Patricia Mudheu. Patricia, she is the sitting MCM Lango Kubwa. I was there this week as it so happened. Yeah, you'll get more on that on Saturday night. But does it give you jitters when you hear the two political sides, although in this particular instance, it's the Azimio side, which is raising questions on the credibility of the vote? You were elected, you are running on as part of the Azimio camp, that is correct, yeah?
I wouldn't say jitters, because when one person raises awareness, actually, it puts us on alert, okay? And proper mitigation will be put to make sure we'll have a successful election. So I'll not say, of course, it's a red flag, but again, we still have time, you know, to come up with ways that will make sure the election will be free and fair. Yeah.
Okay.
So basically it's raising awareness, okay? And I love that wasiwasi because it will put us in place so that we can do things right. And also it's also good for Kenyans waelewe what is going on, okay? And then maybe it gives us a chance to correct where we are going wrong.
Okay.
So for me, it's a a positive thing that has happened. And I know it will be rectified.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's every politician's worry, because after a successful campaign, definitely, you want to, unataka ukue na uchaguzi wenye haki. Yes.
Okay. All right. I'll come to you, Ruth. Ruth Waithera is an aspiring MCA. She is contesting the Githiga ward seat. Good to have you this morning, Ruth. What do you make of these allegations? Do you think they warrant deeper introspection?
I think, in my perspective, it's good to raise awareness where there's something that is not going right. And it's a very good thing for us as voters and leaders, so that every concern can be raised and can be put in place. So that if someone is making a complaint, let the IEBC go down, check what is going on, so that all of us can be at a safer place where we all feel comfortable. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we wait to see what they will have to say on the subject. I believe on the page coming up next on the Daily Nation, I think let's just deal with the hard copy. And on page 2, speed guns on expressway as matatus banned. I don't know that. Let me see. Can you see it from where you sit? So several measures were introduced by Kenha and the authorities to mitigate the accidents we've been seeing on the expressway of late, including maxing the number of passengers who can be on a PSV that's cutting across the expressway to 7, and limiting the speed to 110 kph, as well as introducing, they're called rumble strips, as you approach the toll station. Lynette, do you think limiting the number of passengers who can be on a PSV to 7 is warranted, given the accidents that we've seen, or do you view it as an elitist move?
First, I would say that I don't see why they should be barred from using the expressway. I think it was made for all Kenyans. And to speak on that, the PSV, they are also contributing to the economy. So I don't see why they should be hindered from using the expressway. So what I think they should do, they just should put the infrastructure together and in the right place, the rumbles, the bumps, the speed limits, and all those cameras they are saying they are working on. But hindering them from using that, I think that one is not fair for the PSV because they are building so much on the economy. They're also paying at the toll. They are not going there for free. And everybody needs to reach in time wherever they are going. No, it's not limited for only the personal vehicles to be on speed and to reach on time. And like the PSVs, everybody should reach on time. And I don't see, it's not fair.
Okay, you don't
they
think
should they should just let everybody use it, but they should put everything in order for safety of every mwananchi, every vehicle, whether it's PSV, whether it's personal.
Aya. Yes. Aya, Pauline, unaona ni kama matatu wanapeleka tabia yao mbaya kwa expressway?
Matatu kila kinawasubua sana ni wa mapolisi. Juma polisi hata kama saa hii tukiingia unawapata kwa barabara. So wenye matatu wako na wasiwasi sana. Juu akifika pahali anakuta polisi. The next stage anakuta polisi. Ni kwa nini polisi wanaitisha hogo? Ndio hawa polisi sana sana ndio wanaharibu watu wa matatu. Na ndio wanakibia, ndio wapate ya kuwapatia na msahara yao na wakuwapatia mwenyewe msahara jioni.
Aya. Okay, what do you think, Mudeu?
No, I think it's a measure that needs to be revised. Everyone is paying taxes and everyone should access. We cannot make it, we cannot make expressway for the few Kenyans. And I will strongly support the matatus to use it because they carry the large number that people, come to town from one place to another. So I don't think that is a good move. And I think proper public participation should be encouraged. Yeah.
Okay.
But I strongly oppose that move.
Okay.
As Mudeu and also as an entrepreneur in matatu industry.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
What about you, Ruth?
One, we should do a lot of civic education, especially to our matatu entrepreneurs and the conductors and the drivers, so that we can enlighten them on some of these things and keep reminding them that every time, your life is at stake, it's not good to cause accidents, and all those things. And the other thing we need to be doing is every time to sit down with those people, even as leaders and all that, so that we can be on one path. Because civic education is one of the things that those people are missing, And we should not condemn them from using the express highway. There's no way some people can be there up and some people are huku chini. It should be an all-rounded structure where everyone is benefiting, everyone is paying taxes. Those matatu people are paying taxes, so it should be accessible to everyone at any level.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see all four of you agree on that one.
Yeah.
Okay, finally, so we can wrap up our newspaper review and get into a conversation on the scramble for Mama Mboga's vote. The back page of the Daily Nation. What development? Counties splash 40 billion on extra pay. Worst performers are Taita Taveta, Nairobi, Narok, Kiambu, Machakos, Kisumu, Nyandarua, Wajir, and Garissa. At a glance, MCAs in 9 counties pocket 84 million shillings more in allowances in final year. Ward reps in 9 counties increased their sitting allowances by 84 million in the 9 months to March 2022 compared to a similar period last year. MCAs in Migori pocketed average monthly sitting allowances of 167,194 between July 2021 and March 2022, raising the spending on sitting allowances from 56 million in the 9 months to March 2021 to 85.8 million during a similar period last year. The MCAs pocketed a monthly average of 109,214. The 20 MCAs in Nyamira who pocketed an average of 120,000 monthly in 9 months raised overall spending on sitting allowances from 33 million to 39.9 million. I have an aspiring MCA in the house and a sitting MCA in the building as well. What do you make of this report from the Controller of Budget, Margaret Nyakango? You need time to glance through it?
Yeah,
okay, I'll give you. I'll give you.
The numbers are humongous.
Okay, I'll give you a couple of minutes.
They're not reflected in my account, so.
All right, I'll give you a couple of minutes to read through Ruth as well. We come back on the other side of this break with their response on that subject, as well as delving deeper into the question of Mama Mboga.
Friday at 10 p.m., NTV is dubbed as the home to the biggest and most fascinating people on TV. We give you a fix of the latest trends in entertainment. Pack your eardrums with the freshest hits. And bring you the biggest names in the 254 and beyond. Energy, synergy, fun and flair. If it's hot, it's on the trend. If it's not, well... Catch this exhilarating show every Friday from 10 p.m. with the freshest trio, Osoro Viamono, the Scratch Master himself, DJ E, and your sassy homegirl, Amina Abdi Rabar. All this on the trend, only on NTV.
The Trend, in association with Techno Common 19.
In your paper this week, DP World, Docks in Africa. The United Arab Emirates logistics giant plans to control major ports from Djibouti on the Horn around the Cape of Egypt. Biden approves East Africa Community Action on Congo crisis. Plus our opinion leaders. Continent's youth plan to exit space dominated by quote-unquote wazee. Charles Onyango Obo. It's time for the Commonwealth Club to talk about exorcising the empire demons. Generali Ulimwengu magazine. Germany returns African artifacts to their rightful place, home. For this and more stories, get your copy of the East African.
Fred fed Ted bread and Ted fed bed. They will eat unhealthy foods and they will get ill.
I think my answer is no, because they can be fed anything dangerous.
We're making a bacon and egg sandwich.
Having achieved great success in their maiden strategic plan, the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board would like to invite you to the launch of their second strategic plan on the 7th of July 2022 at Sarova Panafric Hotel. This event will focus on key themes including standard setting and research, stakeholder engagement and capacity building, monitoring compliance and organizational strengthening, with an ultimate aim of enhancing transparency and accountability in the public sector. Catch the launch live on NTV and on our digital platforms this Thursday from 9 to 11 a.m.
Excited as a brand to be part of this rally and be part of the sponsors because, again, this is just one of those events and one of those experiences that reminds us as Kenyans who we are and reminds us of so many lessons that we can be as Kenyans. So our sponsorship this year is we sponsor 4 young drivers. We're really passionate as a brand about the youth, and we continue to invest in the youth because the youth are indeed the future, and more importantly, the youth are the digital future of this country. So we are sponsoring 4 young drivers who are part of the FIA. As a brand, we're here to enable Kenyans through being digital and being, as they enable their digital lifestyles, to go beyond. You know, that's why we talk about kiukering. And these guys have just really brought out the spirit of Twende to Kiuke. They've shown us how you can go beyond and how you can really, you know, it doesn't matter what the challenges are, you can actually go beyond and actually deliver and achieve your dreams. Actually, this rally is representation for Kenya, is about young people, and actually that is indeed the future that is so great about this country.
Over 15 million members are transforming Africa. Equity, Karibu member.
Welcome back to AM Live. As promised, I will give Mudeo and Ruth an opportunity to respond to this report by the Controller of Budget. And if I can just highlight some of what I've read. Nairobi City County's expenditure on recurrent was 14.4 times more than development, spending 1 billion shillings on development and 15.2 billion on recurrent activities. That's just one of the examples, and I'm seeing Narok County was also flagged. Governor Samuel Tunai is serving his final, term. So the Narok County government is accused of spending 12.7 times more on recurrent activities compared to development, which consumed a mere 7.3% of the county's 9-month budget. I can see here Kiambu and Machakos also spent, Ruth, 12.6 and 12.3 times on recurrent than on development, respectively, with development constituting a mere 7.3 and 7.5% of total expenditures, respectively. The whole purpose of devolution was to facilitate development, right? To devolve development. But it appears we have this disease of a bloated public wage bill has been devolved as well. Patricia?
Wow. It's a very sensitive topic to touch on, and definitely. Devolution came, but were we ready? It's a continuous, it's a progressive, what do you call it? A progressive process, okay? For instance, when you look at Nairobi County, we have a bloated workforce that needs to be paid, okay? If you don't pay, then the union takes its course. So I'll say, with time, you know, the wage bill, the recurrent, gonna reduce. But we need a system and time to make sure proper channels are assimilated, you know. And as we move on, we're gonna actually cut all these expenses. You get me? Because that has been one of our biggest challenges, a bloated workforce. And you cannot lay people just like that, you know, with no proper mechanism. So definitely I will say, yeah, it sounds crazy, looks crazy, but it's a continuous process, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Ruth, what do you make of it?
Well, as my colleague Patricia is saying, you cannot just do away with people. You cannot just do away with what we're having in the county. And that's the reason we have, like in Kiambu, the wage bill is so high that we're not able to do a lot of infrastructure developments and all that. So I would recommend, with time, the national government should add at least a little money to, like the Kiambu County revenue, the revenue that is coming from the national government, so that you can be able to do some of these things. Because we have so many employees, there's so many bills, electricity bills and all that, and there's nothing we can do about it unless we keep getting some kidogo money from the national government, so that we can be able to actualize some of these things.
Okay. But part of what I'm seeing, the problem is allowances.
Of course, allowances, but when you look at it, I don't think the allowances should be the problem. Because when I look at like Nairobi County, I think every month we have a deficit of, I think, 1 billion. Okay? Which bill? That is crazy. That is money that should go directly to development.
Okay, so, because I'm reading here, all right, I don't see Nairobi specifically mentioned here as far as sitting allowances are concerned. I see Migori pocketed an average monthly sitting allowance of 167,194. And let me see, this was what, between July 2021 and March 2022, raising the spending on allowances from 56 million in that 9 months to 85.8 million. I'm seeing 20 MCAs in Nyamira pocketed an average of 120,000 monthly in 9 months, raised overall spending in sitting allowances from 33 million to 39.9 million. Busia MCAs earned a monthly average of 114,221 in the 3 quarters of 2021-2022, raising the total expenditure on sitting allowances in the county assembly in that 9 months from 53 million to 55.5 million. And on, I'm seeing Homa Bay pocketed an average of 111,248, Kakamega 106,000, blah, 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 on and on and on. The amount in allowances apparently has gone up. The amount that MCAs are awarding themselves in allowances has gone up.
Let me correct you. We don't award ourselves. There is CRC, you know. They're the one who put the...
SRC?
Yeah. Yeah, the one who put up the bar and the markup. Yes. So I don't think this blame should go directly to
the MCAs.
Yes.
Okay, Ruth.
We are just the beneficiaries, but we're not the authors of the allowances. We have someone else who makes sure that, you know, salary and remuneration, cancel.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's the docket that is responsible.
But are you willing to bite the bullet in the interest of development?
Yes.
Because it's negotiated, right?
Oh, yes. Yes, I am. I hope that money will be put in public awareness. It will make my work extra easy.
Why do you say that?
Because most of the time we represent a public that is not aware what I'm supposed to do. Okay? So most of the time I'll use like 10 times the energy that I need to use. You get me? I'm representing people who are really impoverished and ABCD. And like the Bible says, Ata Yesu akenda kuongelesha watu aliwape mkate na samaki, right? So you know what I mean. Okay, so when I'm forced to do that so that people can listen to me, then it becomes extra hard for me to get those votes. But if we invest, if we pump all these monies into public awareness, you know, now the mandate will not come from the MCE, but to the people.
Okay.
Exactly.
So you say you're forced to go out of pocket to meet the needs of your constituents?
Definitely.
Because of cost of living and poverty and
lack of awareness,
underdevelopment.
Underdevelopment, definitely. And then also we represent a population that, wow, that doesn't know how to demand for their rights. You get me? Development or policies or leadership should be a collective responsibility. As a leader, there is what I'm supposed to do. As an electorate, it is your right to make sure whatever I promise, it is done. But do we have a public that understands that? That is my biggest question. And for us to achieve all these good narratives that we keep on putting on these papers, the public must understand. It will make my work easy, it will make your work easy, and we'll not be discussing this.
Okay, so speaking of promises, Lynette, there are a lot of promises that have been made with regard to quote-unquote Mama Mboga. And when I say Mama Mboga, it's a broad net, right? Yes. Women in micro-enterprises. From Kenya Kwanza, where Ruth is a member, they've told us that half of the Hustler Fund, half of that 50 billion in this financial year, should they assume office, would go towards women. They've told us the challenge mainly is access to credit on fair terms. Do they have an accurate reading of the situation on the ground? Is that your biggest challenge as an entrepreneur?
Yes. I sit here listening to Ruth, and now your question, I'll tell you our biggest challenge is that financial empowerment and the distribution. I don't know how it's distributed, because you find that, I don't know whether it's on nepotism, I don't know whether it's on who knows who, I don't know how it gets, because you find that you're promised within the 5 years, you hear some get, some don't get. So you wonder, which criteria do they use to give them, I mean, to distribute these funds to the Mama Mboga.
Okay.
And in the same sense, as they distribute it, as in the ones that are being distributed to, are they using it well? Because you see, sometimes they distribute to the wrong people. They go to the wrong hands. They go to those...
Are you talking like of funds like the Women Enterprise Development Fund?
Yes.
Fund?
Getting those loans, you are... Most of the time you are asked for, they require so many things for you to get them. So you see, you end up not acquiring that fund. You have to end up to these mobile loans which harass you with high interest. So I would say that they should review on how that money is distributed evenly. From the, I would say the Hustler Nation is saying from the bottom to the top. The Azimio, they are even. As in them, they are open. They are not speaking on that. But what I would say, as they speak from bottom to the top, we don't want empty promises. We want to see it work. And as for the Azimio, same, we don't want empty promises. We want to see it work. And we want to see it work to the last Mama Mboga, the one on the one with the makeshift stalls, the one who leaves her wares going to the house with her wares covered with no security. We want to see them receive those funds, and they should also give them awareness on how to spend them.
Okay.
And how to, even if they need it, paid back, and how to pay back. Because another thing that they are failing on, you don't dash me money, you don't give me money, and don't create awareness on how I should make it grow to profit, and how I should be able to be left with something, to save something, and how I should maybe pay back if it's a loan.
Okay.
They should create awareness. They should disburse that money evenly to everybody without choosing class, size of business, where it is, and so on.
All right.
Yeah.
Pauline, ni changamoto gani wewe upitia katika hii biashara yako? Umefanya kwa miaka ngapi?
Hii biashara yangu nimefanya more than 40 years now. But changamoto tunapata. Kwa mfano tunakopa loan. Hii sako. Na support my audience. Hii loan tukipata inatusubua sana. Juu unapewa na interest kubwa sana. Paka unasidwa na kulipa. Na ukisasidwa na kulipa, huyu mwenye kukupa hiyo loan anakuja kukuhalas. Like what you say. Isn't it? Anakuja kukuharash. Ukichelewa one day, the following day, unapeleka na interest ya 200. Because tunalipa every day. For example, kama unapewa 5,000, unalipa 200 per day.
On your 5,000?
Yeah.
Per day?
Per day.
Na umepewa muda gani kurudisha hiyo pesa?
1 month. Ukichelewa na kupeleka that day 200 shillings in the evening, the following day unapeleka ikiwa 400.
So unapeleka 5,400 ukirudisha now the next day?
No, you don't catch me, my dear. Well, unapewa 5,000.
Okay.
Unalipa within 1 month.
Okay.
Are we together now? Unapeleka within
1 month.
1 month.
Yes.
Now before you get this money, unatoa 1,300.
Ini sako?
In sako. Hiyo inakusimamia. So, after that, instead upewe 5,000 cash, unapewa 4,000. So, at the end of the month, unastahili upeleke ikiwa 5,000.
Okay, nimekushika.
Are you together now?
Nimekushika.
Yes. So, unalipa 200 shillings per day.
Ukichelewa sasa?
No. Hiyo ni ya kila siku.
Okay.
Yeah. Ukichelewa na kupeleka 200 in the evening, the following day, unapeleka ikiwa 600. Why? Because ukupeleka jana, plus interest ya 200, and 2 plus 200 ya leo. Do you get me now?
Nimekuelewa.
Do you get me now?
I get you.
Yes. So, at the end of the month, unapeleka ikiwa more than 7,000. Nanielewa? Ukisamaliza, ukitaka 10,000, unalipa 350 per day. Within 1 month. Ebu fanya hiyo hesabu.
Wacha nifanye. Nifungue calculator hapa. Nafanya hapa. Umesema ngapi? 350?
Per day.
In what period? A month?
A month. Na umepewa 10,000.
Na hii ni Saturday na Sunday pia?
Every day.
Every day.
From Monday to Sunday. Do you catch me now?
Yes.
Unalipa gapi?
In 30 days, 350, 10,500.
Yes. So, ukichelewa, upeleka, vile unaweka na interest, penalty. That's we call it penalty. Ya 200. Because ulichelewa na kupeleka ya jana. Sindio? So, na before you get this money 10,000, unakatwa 2,000. So, unapewa ikiwa 8,000. Na utapeleka ikiwa 10,000. Sunaona? Sunalipa, unaona hapa, unapewa na 40%. Sindio? So wanaboga hatusaidiki na hiyo loan. And that's why I'm here. Kuuliza hii government tunaelekea kupata ya UDA.
Naona umevaa rangi za UDA. Lakini kabla tuende hapo, Patricia, you were telling us you're a businesswoman as well. You said you're in the matatu industry.
Yeah.
So what has been the biggest challenge for you?
Police harassment, that is one, and high fuel prices. But yeah, somehow we manage. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I think Pauline also raised that issue of police harassment as far as matatus are concerned.
Yeah.
So is it double taxation in your view?
Definitely, it is double taxation. And I just don't understand why, because my biggest argument nowadays is like matatu industry employs like 90% of youth. And that is an industry that should be applauded.
90% according to?
90% of youth.
According to?
It's according to the nature of work. You have to be between 19 and 35.
No, I'm asking, how do we know it employs 90% of youth? Was there like a study or something?
Yes, a study and practically, looking at it.
Okay, all right.
Yes. Yeah, employs like 90% if it's not 100% of youth. Yeah. So I think it's a trade that should be amplified in a country that we are struggling with unemployment. Okay? And actually we should look at how police handle the dealings of matatu industry. Of course, I know some of them are rogue and law must be enforced. Okay? But, my government, and I must congratulate my principal because he's one of the leaders who've led a successful political party that has structures. So with no doubt, I know, I'm looking forward to a government that will work for people. Exactly. Because if you want to look at a home, you have to look at how it is structured. Yes.
Okay. Ruth, Azimio are proposing for the most vulnerable of households, right? A 6,000 shilling, more or less, welfare payout. Do you think this would be beneficial?
In my view, it wouldn't be beneficial because I believe in the act of giving someone, it's not about giving you fish, it's about showing you how to fish. And that we come back to the Kenya Kwanza manifesto, where one of the things we want to do is to pump in like 100 billion per year as a hustler fund, which will be available to all, like everyone in general, as long as you're able to access the fund. So we are going to consolidate the youth fund, the youth enterprise fund, the women fund and the Uwezo fund together so that they can be one fund which will be accessible at the ward level to everyone. You understand? So for me, I would think it's not about giving people, dishing out cash to people. It's about showing them how to fish and giving them things that are going to, and business incentives that are going to put money into their pockets so that the economy can grow in terms of them paying taxes. They can be at a level, where everyone is at par with almost everyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lynette, when you're hearing all these proposals from these two political sides, right? They've been labeled the two horses in this race. What are you looking for as a woman who is in business?
First of all, I would try to a bit disagree with my MC seated on my right. This money that is being given to the women fund, is it, we said women? Yeah. The 6,000 that is being given to the household, I don't think it's about...
That is Azimio.
Azimio, it's not about business.
It's not It's
not
these
about
are vulnerable
business.
households.
So these are vulnerable
houses that happens globally.
So this one, I agree with it. I'm for it. The only issue that I'm still revolving around is this, the funds that are being distributed to the business. But this one that is being given to vulnerable households, I agree with the Azimio 100% because there are those households that initially they used to live on a $1, but now with the high cost of living, they can't even meet that. And I'll tell you, like maybe 60%, people are not seeing outside here. 60% of households live with maybe a meal a day. So if at all this 6,000 per household for vulnerable household is brought up, I think it's a plus for the Azimio.
Okay, but what do you make of Ruth's argument that the focus should not be on giving somebody fish, but teaching them how to fish?
First, I wanted to correct her on that. That I agree. Another one, us as Mama Mbogas and the SMEs, we don't want to be given handouts. We want to be empowered financially, and the finances has to be made accessible to us. We are not accessing them, and if we access them, the interest rates are very high.
Okay. So if I'm understanding you correctly, you're saying that there is a need for that welfare, right? There's a situation where people are in need and there needs to be some aid in that respect. But you're also saying even as that is happening, people should be empowered to earn their own.
People should be empowered to earn their own, and they should form this awareness, the skills. They should create something to make people waelimishe watu on how to run those funds. You just don't give money to Lynette. And then you don't make Lynette understand that this 100,000 or I'll say 500,000, this 500,000 that I'm giving you, this is how you should do it, and this is how you should work on it. As in, they should make people awareness on business management.
Okay.
Those basic skills on business management. Because again, if you give them, you empower them financially, and you don't make them, you don't give them a bit of awareness and the skills, you'll end up not even, you'll have done zero work. Because they'll come back to you again.
All right.
So what I'm advocating for as a Mama Mboga, I'd want the government coming in, whichever government that is coming in. We are still watching them. We are listening to them very keenly, and we are following them. And I want to remind them that we carry the majority of votes. I want to tell them that they should also create this, the classes that people would go and they are certified. In a sense that at the end of the day, I am qualified to compete with even that qualified person with a certificate. I can even go even after tenders. Are you getting those small things? They should look. They should not look at it as small. We minimize. We should be always there outside selling. Mama Mboga should wake up one day and go to even come to NTV. I want to supply milk, and she's awarded that. Are you getting my point? Yes, I mean the skills of long term, not short term. You give me even 20,000, and you want it back, you walk away. It doesn't help.
Okay. Pauline, umeelewa vile Lynette anasema? Sasa umeniambia kwamba ukichelewa kulipa hiyo pesa, umepewa na sako kwa mfano, unalipishwa penalty. Ni nini huwa inafanya ukose kulipa unavyopaswa?
Well, kuna njia mingi sana inaweza kufanya nikose nisidwe na kulipa. For example, I'm selling avocados and bananas. Unaweza nunua ije of a life ama yose. Sidio? Na ikisaosa si unatupa. Huwezi uza. Unaweza nunua ikiwa imeosa. You can't. Secondly, customer hupati kila siku. For example, you are employed. Sidio?
Yes.
Unapata mshahara every day.
Mwisho mwezi unapata.
You don't ask me. Unapata mshahara kila siku.
Hapana.
Unapata the end of the
month.
On the month. So, si customer hatupati kila siku. Unaweza enda ukose kuuza. Unapata pengine 100 or 200 or 300. Nowadays, uga iko very costly. Sidio? Uga ni 200. Unauza 300. Unanunua uga 200. 100 inatosa nini? Inatosa boga. And my question is, utalipa loan ama utapatia mtoto chakula? Utafanya nini? Sini watoto utanunulia chakula. Juu hata nikikulipa, watoto wanaweza kunistaki nimekata kuwapatia chakula. Na nitafugwa na magistrate. Why? Juu nimesema niliuza 300 shillings, nikalipa loan, nikakosa kununulia nini watoto chakula. Watoto watafanya nifungwe. Juu watoto ndio wako muhimu kuliko loan. So, lazima nipatie watoto kwanza chakula. Even house rent, siwezi fugiwa nyumba, nikulipe. Lazima nipate pahali pa kulala. Kwa hivyo, ndio sababu sisi wanaboga hatusogi mbele. Na ndio tunafurahia hii pesa ya Uwezo inasemekana tutakuwa tukipe juu nalipa slowly by slowly.
Okay.
Na hapo unapata kitu ya kuweka ya kesho na ya kulipa.
Sawa, nimekuelewa. Aya, and I want you to come in at that point. Mudeo, can you explain to us, right?
Yeah.
Election time, we hear from the political class that, oh, they're for us, Mama Mboga. They're championing Mama Mboga, they're championing, and we're using the term Mama Mboga loosely to encompass the micro enterprises, to a boda boda, to a salon, you know, when you're on the podium there. But when they're being chased by Kanjo for selling on the side of the whatever, where are you? You're nowhere to be seen.
Now, first, let me revert to a question back. Let me answer a question back. What is too beautiful about Azimio is wonder. We've recognized that there's a need, okay, to give empowerment of 6,000 to the needy family. That inclusion includes Mama Mboga. That doesn't stop us from still giving our incentives, which are already there, through Women Fund, Youth Fund, and so on and so forth. Now, what we need to do...
So Azimio is looking to work with the funds that are already in existence?
Exactly. The funds which are already in existence. So what we're lacking is awareness. You get me? I need to go to Kerigiti or I need to go to Mlango Kubwa. Nimwambie yule mama, nikitaka unafanya hivi na hivi na hivi. And like I said, it's a continuous process. Hakuna mtu anazaliwa akijua kila jambo lolote. So let me tell you, I'm actually against all these lies. You know, big money will get 50 billion and put it in this fund. You know, you're creating a fallacy that is not there. It's like a miracle. It's like all of a sudden we're selling hope. Tutakuwa na pesa mingi sana hapa, alafu kila mtu atakuja anachukua. It's a lie. Every institution requires processes for it to work well and to get back and give back again. And we've said, and it's actually in the Constitution, who a needy person is. And we've said, yes, they need to be given 6,000 as the first aid. Unapata? Ukiwa umecollapse, the first thing you need to do is resuscitate, so that you can even think straight. Then after that, okay, enable this person to understand these are the funds that are put in place for people like us. Now, mimi kama mtungaji wa sheria, nafaa nikue, nime-empower, money for empowerment, awareness needs to be there. Kasababu uwezi itisha ile kitu haujui. But ukijua there is this enye inafaa itishwe, you will know how to ask for it.
Okay. Ruth.
Unanisikia, ma'am? So, nataka tuambiane ukweli. And that's the reason I've had. Hapa, tuache kudanganya mwananchi. Tumwambie ukweli. Tumekuwa hapo. Kuna need. These things happen. In developed economies, they happen. Okay? We have a markup that this is tailor-made for the needy people. This is how much subsidy they need to get. That is what Azimio government is ready to offer this country. Na ndio maana tumefanya Azimio la Mama Mboga, Azimio la industry. Our document, it's people-oriented.
Kuna Azimio la Mama Mboga?
Iko. There is azimio for each and everyone.
What does it say? Iyo azimio la Mama Mboga?
Definitely, niyo moja kwanza no, when I say Mama Mboga, is below, not literally Mama Mboga na ABCD. Ni watu wenye wa mapato ya chini. Kuna hiyo azimio. Na ndio maana tukasema tuweke hii cut mark ya 6,000.
Okay.
Because let me tell you,
all right,
Olive, hata mimi nikienda ground like I told you, sitaenda kuketi chini naambia mtu mapendekezo yangu na ana njaa.
Okay. All right. Let me give Ruth quickly an opportunity to respond to that before we take a break. There should be numbers somewhere on your screen. I'm inviting you to call in at this point and share your thoughts on this subject, the scramble for Mama Mboga. Mama Mboga's vote and what you make of all the promises that have been made around it. Ruth, Patricia anasema mna to enjoy.
Wana to enjoy. Aki, seriously. And then let me, wacha nichangie kidogo. These people have been in this, yani tumekuwa pamoja in this government. What is this that they want to implement right now?
So.
And when I say we're going to implement it, we have to implement. Because I'm dealing with the leaders who've been tried and tested. Who stands for something?
Sawa. Ruth?
All right. I would strongly oppose what Patricia is saying. Because if you look at the Kenya Kwanza manifesto, we are talking about an economic model that is rising from the bottom to the middle, out going up. But what Patricia is talking about is a model that is rising from there up, kutoka huko juu, trickling down to the common mwananchi, giving him or her 6,000 shillings.
No, but anasema siyo 6,000 ya kuinua
mwenye. No, wait a minute. No. Let me finish, Patricia. You see, right now, the state of the economy today, we are where we are because of bad choices that we've made and so many things that we've been doing that are not right. In that regard, I would, we would, how do I put it? It's only fair for the government as is going to come, and I hope the Kenya Kwanza government is out that is going to be in place, to all of us to make sure that everyone has something. You know, like it's not the gap from there up, mpaka huko chini, is almost the same. So that we don't have people who are being given, people who are being done what, so that we can all be, it's an all-inclusive government. And if you look at the manifesto, like when we are giving the Hustler Fund, we are going to have like the business extension officers at the ward level. So that even when Mama Pauline comes to, maybe for example, my ward, we can
be able to
address
the concern that Lynette has raised.
Yes, yeah. So that everyone can be able to access something. At the ward level, your MCA can be able to even be able to recommend you. This is Mama Mboga, she does 1, 2, 3 things. You know, but we cannot keep dishing out money. There is no money to give out. We have so many pending bills, wage bills that are not being paid. Money is not getting to the, to the common mwananchi. So we cannot be giving out money like that. Let's empower people to have something. Let's empower people to own that money. Don't give me 6,000, that vulnerable family. Give me that 6,000, wacha wafanye biashara, wapate pesa kesho. You cannot keep giving out people money.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm told we already have callers on the line. We'll hear from them on the other side of this break.
I was inspired to join golf by my dad during the COVID season. Skills I've learned that can help me in real life is being honest. My strongest swing is a driver. I really do hit long drivers, and my weak points are iron games. Golf has helped me in life to be an honest person and a gentleman, since it's a gentleman's game. Yeah. An advice I'll give to a new golfer is, as you start a golf, it's hard, but as you keep on trying, you'll come up with your swing. All swings are engineered. Not all swings are all the same. So don't copy anyone. Have yours.
Someone came here earlier from the Philippine Athletics Association. You got accepted into the Philippine team.
What?
You're now part of the Philippine team. Congratulations.
Manila's so big. It's impossible for you to meet your father here.
Not my father, bro.
What?
It's Bianca.
What the? Bruh! It's been 10 years, okay? You haven't seen each other for 10 years. She's not thinking about you anymore.
Forever my love.
Forever My Love, in association with Blue Band.
The joy, laughter, and friendship moms bring to the family are irreplaceable because at the end of the day, nothing feels as good as a mother's love. Blue Band tastes like mama's love.
We shall legalize weed.
Professor George Luchiri Wajakoya of the Roots Party.
Semeni Babakea. Babakea.
Raila Amolo Odinga of the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Party.
Unajua mimi sina pesa ya serikali ama ya kashfa.
David Mwaure Wahiga of the Agano Party. And
hakuna kura ya hasla mtaiba.
William Samoei Ruto of the Kenya Kwanza Alliance. Presidential Debate 2022. Do not adjust your sets.
Having achieved great success in their maiden strategic plan, the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board would like to invite you to the launch of their second strategic plan on the 7th of July 2022 at Sarova Panafric Hotel. This event will focus on key themes including standard setting and research, stakeholder engagement and capacity building, monitoring, compliance and organizational strengthening, with an ultimate aim of enhancing transparency and accountability in the public sector. Catch the launch live on NTV and on our digital platforms this Thursday from 9 to 11 a.m.
The weekend is finally here, and on Teen Republic it's going to be quite action-packed. On the question of the day, we're asking, what's your most memorable funky na pale kwenye Bazenga? We got to kick it with the OG Calligraph Jones.
We are also going to be having Progress, the Nigerian Idol Season 7 winner. On the Hangout, guys, we got to chill with Michelle and the whole Jump Rope team. Not forgetting Muziki will be courtesy of DJ Rickmo, the Afro King.
Get peace of mind and protect the ones you love with the power of Dettol Bar Soap. It cleans and protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs. So no matter what type of mum you are, trust Dettol.
Every 5 years, uneasiness befalls our beloved country, Kenya, due to disputed election results. The repercussions are often catastrophic, with profound socio-economic impact. A time has come for us to embrace our diverse cultures and rich heritage as our collective strength as a country. Nation Media Group, NCIC and partners under the initiative of Mimim Kenya will be holding a series of town hall forums across the country with the aim of fostering patriotism and national cohesion as the country gears up for the upcoming general elections. Join us this week, 5th July in Naivasha, 6th July in Nakuru and 7th July in Eldoret.
Over 15 million members are transforming Africa. Equity. Karibu member.
All right, welcome back to AM Live, and we're discussing the scramble for Mama Mboga's vote. It has been quite a heated discussion. Off camera, Lynette is asking what of the high cost of living as a business person. She's saying she's feeling it, and she wants to hear from the two camps on how they intend to address that. But first, let's hear from Peter in Vihiga. Peter, swali lako.
Mimi naitwa Peter Wells Yambusi.
I'm calling from Vihiga.
Go ahead.
Okay, my concern is about we have some lady who is talking of that it is not the money that Kenya Kwanza is talking of is not existing. Is the money that is not there. If you listen to what the DP is telling Kenyans, is that the money that he's talking about is there. The money exists, but the money lands in bad hands. So he's not going to look for money from outside. We have wealth in this country. If well managed, it can serve the purpose of changing the lives of Kenyans. So there's some lady also saying there that the police are good, and at the same time she says the police are bad. We have systems. She's a leader, and she should be able to tell us that the police should work under the rules and regulations that are laid down. We should look at the bad side of the police and we should understand why the police are behaving the way they are behaving. They are underpaid. That is why we say the money that is landing in wrong hands should be able to pay our workers, our professionals, well, so that they cannot misbehave on the roads. So what the DP is telling us, that Mama Mboga, we will have a hustler fund. The money will not go for the money from anywhere else. The money is in Kenya. Where are they going to get the 6,000 that they will give all the vulnerable families?
Okay. Got you, Peter. Let's hear now from Ruben. Ruben is calling from Nairobi. Ruben, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for having me. My contribution is towards the 6,000 funds that she says, the lady, the Agumia says that they are going to give out to Mama Mbogas. I don't know where they got the maths that, because to them, they're saying they're giving to 2 million vulnerable groups, vulnerable individuals. Now, the 6,000, people will be competing to be poor to be able to get the 6,000. Because these 2 million people, even if you calculate all the number of Mama Mbogas across the country, they are more than 2 million. So I'll compete to be poor so that I get these 6,000. Whereas Kenya Kwanza is saying we will give 50 million as hustler, 50 billion hustler fund. So I'll compete. It will encourage hard work and better being organized themselves around groups so that I can be able to get this hustler fund. But these other one is going to bring the country down. Second, they're saying we're getting this money from CG where we are talking about 50 billion to hustler fund. Then 2 million Kenyans times 6,000 translates to 12 billion per year. It translates to 144 billion. 12 billion per month translates to 144 billion per year. Where will they get the 144 billion per year, which are given out until it will never come back? But the 50 billion we give out as loans, and it will come back.
Okay.
So these people are lying to us.
Okay.
They are not giving us facts. They're only talking theories. Let them read the manifesto, what the manifesto exactly says. You're asking them, what does it say? They're saying that we have Azimio or Mama Mboga. Let her read the page where it exactly talks about that.
Okay, got you, Ruben. I thank you very much for your contribution. And Patricia, yes. It looks like they've turned the tables on you.
Yes.
They're saying, wewe ndo kono uongo.
No. And I gave a very practical example. Someone is already down. Can't even afford that business, doesn't even have that business. Does that mean this person will be left out because they don't have business and they cannot go borrow from the 50 billion? Answer me that.
All right, what's your response?
Okay, so we have to empower them in a way. We give them a startup. And trust me, the economy is crazy. And we have to give first aid for the people who much need it. Okay? It's up to us as leaders to come up with ways of how we're going to alleviate the cost of living and mitigate whatever is happening before we move on into the Mama Mbogas.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Ruben and Peter, I don't know what you make of that explanation, but I'll come back to you, Ruth. Yes, you had a response for Patricia, and because she asked, what of the person who's already down, they have no business to speak of.
Exactly. So they're not covered.
And just to mention, we've been joined by Wanjiko, Mary Wanjiko. You know how we speak of Wanjiko? We've been joined by Mary Wanjiko. She is a Mama Mboga as well, and she'll give us details of what she trades in a moment. But Ruth.
No, I think we don't understand this thing of the hustler fund, and that's why even the viewers are saying, let's go down to the manifesto and read it. You see, it's not about that person who is not able to access anything ama hana chochote kwa mfuko. It's about all of us who are there down. You know, you can come to my ward at the ward level. You meet my business incentive people. We discuss. We follow up on you. We give you something small that you're going to start up something, of course, at a kidogo interest. You understand what I mean? And that is why we are telling the Azimio people, don't use this trickle-down economic model. Use the bottom-up economic model. Mama Pauline can tell you, if you give her 2,000 today, mwambie, in a week, I want to see what you've done. Si mama kesho itakuwa imekupeleka mbele kidogo. Utakuwa umemake interest kidogo, na unarudisha ile kidogo hii side. So it's not about that thing of thinking that it's just this fund for some few people. It's for everyone. Kutoka mwenye ako pale chini kabisa, mwenye hana anything.
Swali ni, mwenye hana hiyo business atakuja kupe proposal. What will happen to this person? And ndio wengi Kenya.
And that's what we are saying.
Ndio wengi Kenya wenye hawana hiyo business. You know, I want to demystify this Mama Mboga.
At the ward level, Patricia.
Kuna mama wa kibanda, kuna SMEs and ABCD. Lakini kuna huyo youth amesoma, akona degree yake, hana kazi, hana biashara.
And that's what we are saying. We have our people as Kenya Kwanza on the ground at the ward village level to take these people up, to hold their hands, to introduce them to businesses, to show them this is how we are going to do about it, train them on management issues and all that. So that
okay, Patricia doesn't seem convinced, and I'm not sure I'm convinced either. But let me introduce Mary Wanjiko. Wanjiko karibu. Watu upenda kusema Wanjiko wewe ndo Wanjiko sasa.
Ndio Wanjiko sasa.
Okay, karibu sana. Wacha nikupatie dakika moja usettle kidogo tukisikia kutoka Lynette. Lynette, she said it's not just about these funds.
It's not just about funds. And I think we would spend the whole day talking about funds.
That's true.
We leave it to you people. Convince us beyond possible doubt that it will reach from the Mama Mboga, the one at the Kibanda, to the SMEs, the one at the top. Because all are qualified against divide.
That is true.
Now, that left aside, I am also talking of high cost of living. What are they going to, how are they going to help us in this high cost of living? High cost of living, I do fish. The oil, this oil, the cooking oil has gone high. We have the gas has gone high. We have firewood or charcoal. It's also high. That transportation has gone high. I go to the market, I am told because of the fuel increment, the price of the fish has gone high. You think the person who buys fish every day, they'll have to reduce, maybe they'll go slow from twice a week, or they'll go to once a week. Suddenly, they'll go to maybe once a month or something. So how am I surviving? And if I'm not surviving, how is there even the other person surviving? My fellow Mama Mboga said sometimes the avocados go bad. They are thrown. She's not able to pay back the loan that she was given. She has to buy unga in the house. The rent is needed, among other things. How are they helping us? This high cost of living should also be talked about. Okay. Let's leave that fund. They should convince us beyond doubt. But if we dwell so much on that, I think we'll have the whole day. So let's talk about that. They should tell us that.
Amesema tuongee mambo ya high cost of living. But before then, karibu Wanjiko. Wanjiko, ni changamoto gani? Kwanza tuambie unafanya kazi wapi na ni kazi gani?
Mimi nafanya kazi ya kibanda, kuuza mboga. Na nauza vitu zote zinakuwa kwa kibanda. na nafanyia hapo Kangemi but kwa kijiji inaitwa Kibagare. So kwa saa hii kuna changamoto kwa sababu bei ya bidhaa zimekuwa juu kabisa. So unapata kama vile tulikuwa tunanunua kama tuseme ni crate moja ya nyanya tulikuwa tunanunua for 3,500. Sasa hii imeshoot juu up to 7,500. So inakuwa changamoto pia hata sisi kununua.
Imeshoot kwa muda gani hiyo?
Yes.
From 3,000 to 7,500?
Yes.
Hiyo ni muda gani?
Kwa hii mwaka kianza tulikuwa tunanunua 6,000. Lakini kwa saa hii kutoka last month ni 7,000
crate ya nyanya.
Crate ya nyanya. So inakuwa changamoto kwetu sisi kwenda kununua kuja kuuzia wananchi kwa sababu unapata tulikuwa tunauzia kama ni nyanya tunauzia 3 tunauzia 20 bob. Kwa saa hii tunauzia moja 20 bob ama ile kidogo sana tunauzia 10 bob. So unapata pia watu wanashindwa kuzinunua kabisa. Pia hata sisi kwetu sisi kuzinunua ni bei kali. Pengine unapata kama sisi wanabiashara pesa yenye umepatiwa ni ya loan. So unapata pia hata hiyo loan kuirudisha ni ngumu. Kwa sababu hata watu wa kununua hakuna. Kama tuseme for example mtu alikuwa kazi, kuna wenye waliachishwa kazi, kuna wenye hata kama wako kazi hiyo pesa yenye wanapatiwa, hiyo mshahara yenye wanapatiwa haiwezi fikia ati kila mtu kukua kinunua kila time. Kama ni lunch ama sapa inabidi mtu ana squeeze. So unapata kama ni kununua hizo bidhaa ni ngumu sana. Yeah. Kama ni lunch ana skip na enda kwa sapa. Kama tuseme for example saa hii unga imepanda juu kabisa. Tulikuwa tunanunua kwa 100 shillings. Saa hii ni kuna wenye wananunua 250, kuna wenye wananunua 230 hapo. So unapata mtu hata nunua unga. Kama kuna for example nini hapo kwetu kuna mama mmoja tuli witness alienda akanunua tu mboga, akakuja akachemsha akapatia watoto. Unga hawezi nunua, anaachana nayo. So imekuwa changamoto sana kwa hii maisha yenye imekuwa juu. Imekuwa juu kabisa. Inabidi pia hata sisi kwa sababu customer hakuna, unafunga biashara. Watu hawayuko wakununua. Ukishanunua mboga ama hizo nyanya, ujue nyanya sana sana hazinanga muda mrefu ya kukaa. Zinaharibika unatupa.
Okay.
Ama pengine mtu akikukopa unapatana pesa ya kurudisha. Kesho wewe utenda soko na nini? Inabidi unafunga. Kishafunga alafu pia hata wewe maisha yako imerudi chini. Kama ni watoto ulikuwa unasomesha, school fees nao ndio inatupeleka mbio. Umeshindwa kulipa. Next time nini tutapata huko nje? Watoto wamejaa kwa mitaani wakizurura. Unapata street families wamejaa kwa street. Hata especially hata huko kwetu Westlands. Watoto juu ya njaa wanaenda kwa hizi mall za Wahindi. Wanaenda kugojea food huko. Kwa sababu kwa hakuna kitu. Na hiyo mtoto next time nini atafanya? Ata drop out shule. Na pengine mtoto angekuwa mtu mkubwa mahali. Na yeye mzazi hana otherwise inabidi anaachana nao. So hiyo changamoto ya food na maisha kukua juu imetupea hata sisi kama wananchi changamoto kubwa sana na hata mbaya kwa sababu pia nikiangalia sioni kama kutakuwa na generation iko na future kwa sababu wenye wana drop out of school wanaenda pengine kama ni wasichana wanadanganywa huko nje kwa sababu ya njaa. Na hali ya maisha kwenda juu, mzazi huna otherwise inabidi tu unaachana na mtoto wako. Pia hata sisi inatudhuru kama wanabiashara kwa sababu hakuna customer wa kununua na mwenye ananunua ni watu wadogo sana na wengine ni kukopa. Na kikopa hata kupe utamfanya nini? Una understand? So unapata watu wengi wenye wamefunga biashara zao. Pia kitu kingine imeaffect wana biashara na si mbaya. Yes, serikali inaangalia mambo ya barabara, kutengeneza barabara. Nikiangalia hapo Kangemi, tukienda kwa soko hapo karibu na City Council, kuna wachuuzi wengi walikuwa wanauza hapo. But barabara ikakuja ikawa affect. Wengi wamefunga biashara zao wameenda. Napata wengine wamepatwa na depression. Kuna mmoja niliwitness mwanaume saa hii ni kama mwenda wazimu kwa sababu hana mahali pengine anaweza tegemea na maisha imeenda juu. So unapata mambo ya mental health inaenda juu sababu ya uchumi.
All right. Pauline, and before I come to the two of you, Umudeu and Ruth, to respond to that issue of cost of living and how your various parties, coalitions intend to address that. Pauline, unaona ni kama hii serikali yetu inadhulumu yani ule mwanabiashara wa chini, inamtreat kama mnyama, alafu
inamtema nje,
inaimarisha biashara za wanaojiweza.
Asante kwa hiyo swali, na nilikuwa naigoja sana. Well, I was born before the first government ya the late Mzee Jomo Kenyatta. Na nilikuwa mkubwa tu tukipewa hiyo serikali. Hiyo ilikuwa mzuri. The second government ya Moi ilikuwa poa. Juu watoto hata walikuwa wanakunywa maziwa kabisa kwa shule. Hatukuwa na shida ya shule. Wakati wa Kenyatta, wakati wa Moi, tukaja wakati wa Kibaki, ilikuwa poa sana. Lakini this fourth government is too much. Is too much. Nikikumbuka vizuri sana, hii serikali ingia 2013. Am I right?
No, you're right.
2013. Uhuru tukampitisha. Na akaweka
Uhuru na nani?
Let me finish.
Yes, don't interrupt, Shesho.
Tukaweka Uhuru na deputy wake William Samuel Ruto. Na Uhuru akaja akasubuliwa na walimu the third month. Na Uhuru anisikilize sana pahali yako. Pahali yako sahi anisikilize vizuri sana. Akaja akasubuliwa na walimu. Hata alikuwa hajamaliza 3 months. Ilikuwa I think it was 2 months and 27 days. Akasubuliwa na walimu. Nikisema hivyo mtakubuka. Wakademonstrate. Wanataka nini? Kuongezewa mshahara. Na new government. Na ndio tukafanya demonstrate Kiambu wa Mama Mboga wote. And I was there. Tukateremka mpaka kwa DC. Mimi nikapanda kwa jukwaa. Nikauliza swali. Nikauliza wasasi. Na Uhuru anisikilize sana pahali yako. Sahi. Nikasimama nikauliza wasasi, wacheni nimuulize. Hata kama wewe nitakuuliza sana Patricia. Unapata mimba. Ukakaa nao miezi mingapi? 9. Na ukizaa mtoto anamea meno na miezi mingapi?
10.
Why? 6 Masiwa yako mtoto mama ukiwa unakula vizuri sana. Mtoto yako anastahili kuanza kutoa meno akiwa na 6 months. Anaanza kutoa na 2. Mnanielewa? Nikauliza wasasi nataka mnijibu. Ni mtoto gani akizaliwa anatoa meno na miezi gapi? Wakaniambia 6. Nikawauliza, ni mtoto gani anatoa meno na miezi 3?
Hakuna.
Mnaelewa, amwezi uelewa nilikuwa na maanisha nini? The following day hiyo nini ikapelekwa bunge. Jogu wa Joroge akasema, wacheni nimuonyeshe vile Kiambu inacheza. Akateroa nini? Hiyo nini? Hiyo hotuba yangu nilitoa. Wakaamuka wote wakasema, huyu mama aletwe hapa mara moja. Na nikaja nikapata hiyo message that day. Uhuru akasema nipelekwe. Hakupelekwa. Na muache niende step by step. Si ndio? Akasema nipelekwe. Sikupelekwa. Jorogu nikamfuatilia, hakunipeleka bunge na walikuwa nilikuwa na nikafurahia niwaelezee what I want to say. Ni mtoto gani anatoa meno na miezi 3. Na mnaona ilikuwa bado haijaisha. I'm talking about this government fourth. Si ndio? Akafanya niwe adui ya walimu wote. It was on Wednesday. I remember very well. It was on Wednesday. The following day on Thursday, Uhuru akaenda sijui wapi mkutano. Na yenye speeches yote alitoa, aliongea vile nilikuwa naongea. Si ndio? Nikawa adui ya walimu. Juu nilisema walimu today is Wednesday. Ikifika Monday kama hamujarudi kasi, hakuna kasi mtarudi. Uhuru alirudia that speech yenye nilitoa huko. By Monday walimu wakarudi. Nilifanya vizuri. Niliongea vibaya vizuri. Wewe, nilimtetea. Si yes or no, nani Patricia? Nilimtetea. Walirudi. Mbona hakunifuatilia nipelekwe huko kwake?
Lakini swali mami ilikuwa haya ndio kila mtu apate nafasi ya ongea sasa.
Ndio. Hakufuatilia ajue nini nilikuwa nilikuwa nasema miezi mitatu ako ofisi amejua vile ataingia. Na ndio sababu nilikuwa nauliza 6,000 mtakuwa mkitoa wapi? Pure lies. Hakuna pesa kwa hii 6,000 ni kufanya watu wawe idlers. Juu nitakuwa nategemea 6,000 at the end of the
hakuna kufanya kazi.
Lakini
na kade nikigoja nini?
6,000.
So this government
6,000 itakufikisha wapi? Lazima ufanye kazi.
Hakuna because hata ukiingia supermarket
one day
nisaidizi.
Hiyo hakuna usaidizi kwa hapo ni kunifanya niwe idlers. Ni kunifanya niwe idlers. Nipatia nifanye kazi.
Haya, naona muda inanipatia kidogo.
That is Mama Mboga talking.
Haitupeleki vizuri.
Sawa.
Na hadi Uhuru ametuachia si pazuri.
Mambo ya cost of living. What am I
na bado makuiwa na nani hawa wa UDA wanakuja wanatupatia kitu ya kununua uga. Every day wanaenda field.
Pauline, haya wacha tusikie kutoka Ruth. Hii mambo ya high cost of living. Nileta amezungumzia high cost of living pia tumesikia kutoka kwa Wanjiku. What is your proposal?
Wow, the cost of living has gone up, not only for Mama Mboga, but for all of us. You go to the supermarket and see, maybe you're buying things for 10,000. So unatoka na karatasi kamoja. Things have become hard, not only for the Mama Mboga, for all of us. You can agree with me, yeah? And if you look at the... I remember when our DP at Kenya Kwanza was fronted, the first thing they brought on the table, they say they want to fix the economy, because the economy is so bad, and it is because of the things that have been happening uko nyuma, you understand?
But unajua Patricia vile anauliza, she's asking where has he been? She asked Mom, Uhuru was elected with who?
With who? You just can't apply selective justice. They were together, and they're both principals.
They are principles, I understand.
They were elected by the people to represent the people.
That is true. That is true. And also Patricia should know she's also elected by the people.
Exactly.
So she should also bite the bullet as well.
So of which
a leader is a leader at any capacity.
Exactly.
You understand what I mean?
So I don't run away when the house is burning and blame it on the other person.
You should be asking yourself.
I should be busy putting off the fire.
You should be asking yourself,
but not
Patricia.
point fingers and say it's because of him. No.
That's why I'm saying. That's why I'm saying, Olive. Patricia should be saying, where have we been? Because she's also a leader in her capacity as well. So what has happened. Let's try as much as we can to fix the economy, so that the commonest mwananchi huko chini can be able to afford at least a meal a day. That's why we are coming up with those incentives, at least so that everyone can be able to get, like kidogo money to start up their businesses at low interest rates, so that we can be able to move forward and our economy can go back to where we were.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Patricia?
1 minute.
Let Patricia respond and I'll come to you. Okay.
I'm not running away from anything. And that's why I'm still a Jubilee ardent supporter.
That's why you need to use the win.
And a leader should always take responsibilities. That's why I didn't run away from what we've put in. But this siyasa of saying, just because the house is burning, it's not my responsibility. And I'm answerable to the people of Mlango Kubwa. And I have to explain to them what went wrong. Not run away and point fingers. That's not what leaders do. okay? I judge me as you want, but I will stand and tell you the truth. I will not run away. And that's what angers me. That's what pains me. Because as leaders, we need to stop lying from the people who elect us. You get me? And demystify all this fallacy. It's because of him. It's because of
But on the high cost of living that Lynette raised, how do you plan on addressing it?
Definitely, we must agree that we became a country of, you know, what do we call it? We just ingest. We don't produce. And that's where we went wrong. So how are we going to go back, you know, retract where we lost? We got lost, okay? Get into manufacturing.
Yes.
Empower people who are doing farming and, you know, come up with ways of, you know, making farm inputs, what do you call it? Accessible and affordable, okay? We have to, you know, we have to retract where we went wrong. And then also, let's not also, let's not do away with there is global warming that has affected how our rains, you know, there's so many things that we need to put in place. And high cost of living is not only in Kenya. It's being experienced globally. And this is what we're not telling people. Today, inflation in UK is at 40%. This is a first world. Okay? They have everything in process, like everything we aspire to have. They have them. Okay? We have Ghana already. They're complaining of high cost of whatever. We have fight in Ukraine.
Got you.
Then, you
right,
see,
so, again,
it's only unfair if we blame it on one principle and yet there are two.
We blame it on all leaders.
Lynette.
Thank you very much.
Lynette.
And I agree with you. If we blame it in all leaders, then...
Okay. I know at the end of the day, if you're keen to listen to both of our leaders here, the upcoming and the sitting, the language is different, but they're speaking on the same thing. You know why I'm saying that? She's talking of incentives. If she says, okay, define what it means to be incentives, I don't know what she'll come up with. The language is the same. Azimio is also talking about the funds, the 6,000 amongst other funds. So I think the language is the same. And if we still go on digging, we are not going to come up with anything better. What I urge Mama Mboga and the SMEs, go deep into the manifesto. Go deep into the manifesto and check. Because all these people are saying what they have for us. The sitting government and even the Azimio. Also, the DP, I still count him as he's part of the sitting government. What did they do for us? What new is he going to do that will change what was there? Right. So these languages they are coming up with the different definition of the funds, we really need to know.
All right. Lastly, Wanjiko, najua hujaongea sana, tutakuwa siku nyingine. Ungependa kuona nini kuendelea mbele, kusonga mbele? Kama mwanabiashara kusonga mbele, ikwe serikali ya Azimio au ya Wajakoya au ya Kenya Kwanza, nini ungependa kuona ifanyike ili biashara yako iimarike?
Mimi kitu ya kwanza yenye ningependa kuona wameinua mwananchi wa chini, especially kama saa hii vile wanasema kama kuna hii kazi mtaani. Unaona, ukiinua mwananchi wa chini, huyu youth umeinua chini, atakuja inue Mama Mboga na inue huyu mwingine hapo juu. So ningependa kama ni serikali yenye itakuja ifocus sana na mwananchi wa chini, sana kama ni Mama Mboga ama kama ni wazee, youth wenye wako idle, wafundishwe mambo ya biashara, entrepreneurship, ambao wenye hawana kazi. At least hata kama ni hizi loans zinapeanwa, kila mtu ikiwe ikimfikia. Pia bado ningependa kuona serikali ambayo inafocus sana na mwananchi na youth. Kwa sababu wao ndio wako affected sana. Kwa sababu usipo inua huyu wako chini, hakuna venye utaniambia tu huyu wako juu utaweza kumuinua.
Sawa.
So ningependa ifocus sana na sisi wenye tuko chini, kwa sababu sisi ndio huwa tuna vote. Na kwa sasa hivi venye hali iko, watu wengi ni wenye hawatajitokeza. Na badala tuone nchi yenye inaanguka kwa sababu ya kukosa muongozo mzuri, kwanza wafocus sana na wananchi wako chini. Wakuje kwa ground wenyewe, wasikilize kutoka kwa masikio yao, kutoka kilio cha wananchi. Wasikae tu huko juu, wanagoja information iwafikie ama kama wakati kama nyinyi NTV mmetu host wajilete huku chini.
Sawa sawa. Aya. Naambiwa Winnie, my colleague, is coming up next with Your World, and coincidentally she is discussing the high cost of living. I've been your host over the course of these 2 hours, so just short of 2 hours. Olive Burrows. Wanjiko, thank you for eventually making it. We'll have another date and we'll give you more of an opportunity to share your thoughts. Mudeu, defending mlango kubwa seat. You're up against Susan, yes, on your party ticket. So all the best. Mudeu is like, all the best to you moving forward.
We want leaders we will be responsible.
Sawa, sawa. So we will host you in future as well, hopefully. Thank you very much, Lynette, for holding these two women to account. A good thing you sat in between them. And Ruth, thank you very much for coming this morning. Happy to host you. Hope to host all of you again. And Pauline, thank you very much. Naamini Uhuru amesikia. Na kama ujumbe haujamfika itamfikia.
Itamfikia na mimi ndio nikimaliza mimi ndio proposa wa Ruto.
Sawa.
Ndio sisi tunajiita bottom up.
Sawa sawa. Have a good morning, Winnie. Over to you.